like have a can that season in general, or you could just room it at the start if it's a problem. I've never had the problem though. So trick. What? Does he have a match or no? All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let me look. Let me talk about different types of defaults. Can you coach me? I am right now. Let's talk about different types of defaults. This right here, where we had the 4 players here and the one person who was kind of useless over here, this is what I call an exec default. Okay? An exec default is where you have it's not a straight up exec, okay? There are defaults that have all the agents needed to exec an area or a bomb site, but they're not 100% committed to doing that. It's all protocol based. Like if you get certain areas and you hear certain things, and you'll launch off of it, right? And that's just an example of it, right? Some defaults you can define them as like passive defaults, where you play for info. You don't try to win the round with map control to start. You don't try to take crazy fights. You just try to establish a good read on where you should take space early into the round, and you reactively take space, right? Like you hear certain things. Maybe the enemy takes a lobby. Maybe you say, "Oh, yo, let's react and take a rush." Those sort of things. It's a passive default. It's a reactive default, right? Those those happen when teams are playing really aggressive, and you kind of want to figure out where you can either punish them or react. You can do that. You can have a more passive default, right? And other sorts of defaults are just map pressure. For example, like on split, right? Like you might take one person here, trip here, and then like 3 ramp, right? So this is actually a tripwire, and you take this area, right? You're not really ready to exec, but you're taking all of this from them eventually, and that's just map pressure, right? You're not really ready to exec A, where you're down to take fights in this area, but you're just taking map control, right? This is still a type of passive default, but it's a lot more brawly. So that's just the simplified versions of defaults. That's just the best way that I felt I could explain it to people who might not have experience in what I have. So yeah. Now we're gonna get into how to actually improve like your gameplay. And how long are you coaching for? It depends on what people ask. Let's talk about mechanics, okay? I need to change my stream to Valorant. I think you gotta end my stream to do it. Yeah, I'm restarting it. Alright. So there's a bunch of stuff here. A bunch of stuff. Let's talk about mechanics. There's something that I like to refer to as general mouse control, right? General control of your mouse. It's just how confident are you in your full mouse rotations, just controlling your mouse in general. That's all it is, okay? You need to improve that. You can just improve it on Kovacs. It's a really general term. It doesn't matter that much. I'm just defining it right now. All right. Then there's crosshair placement. How good are you at like peaking angles, having good crosshair placement? Just in general, right? How stiff are you? A lot of people will peak angles like this, right? You don't want that. You want to peak angles fast, tight. Every single angle gets checked. How good is your crosshair placement? All right. Then there's something called crosshair adaptation. Now there's 2 ways that I would hold this angle. Let's say I'm holding this right here. Okay. Let's say this is a shit angle. I don't want to hold that. Let's say I'm holding. Mm, let's say I'm here. I'm holding this angle. Okay. And let's say there's no noise in the round. There's no noise. 30 seconds into the round, I got here. There's no noise. I'm gonna hold this angle really close to this wall. It's not crosshair placement. It's crosshair adaptation. Why? Because there's no reason to believe that I'm just gonna get fucking wide swung. Whereas if I hear 5 people sprinting into A lobby right now, I'm not holding this tight. I'm just gonna whiff. You're gonna hold all the way out to like here, right? Because you're expecting these people to run like this, right? They're gonna get all the way to here by the time you can shoot. So your crosshair needs to be out farther, holding for them. This is just an adaptation, and it's something to think about in the round. It's the same thing where like if you come out and you have reason to believe that there's no one long, like if you're There's a misinput. There's a Unfortunately there was a misinput in the curriculum. That one's on me, boys. That one's on me. Okay, it's just a minor major malfunction. You know what I'm saying? What's that guy on TikTok say all the time? It's like a mild severe concussion. What is it? Someone knows. Someone knows what I'm talking about. All right. Let me start this fucking screen share again. That's my bad. There's no way no one knows that TikTok guy who crashes cars in like the game. It's like I'll survive that. Just like 3 severe mild concussions. No way y'all don't know that. Yeah, I know y'all know. I told you. All right. Where was I at, boys? Where was I at? Someone tell me where I left off. Tell me where I left off. Where was I? Crosshair adaption. Oh, this is all right. So let's say you're coming into sight and you have reason to believe that you heard someone here. Let's say it's a 2v1 and you know someone's here. Okay, all right. Let's say that's way too specific, actually. Let's say you're peeking mid and you're peeking in the mid round. They're going for like a B split, right? And if you theory craft this in a server and try to purposely like peek mid, you're gonna peek like this, right? If you sit here in a server by yourself and try to peek every angle perfect, right? Whereas like if you have reason to believe that there's someone right here, you're gonna peek this angle a lot different than just holding deep cat, right? That's not the same. So when you hear people lower mid, right, you're gonna peek it like this. This is crosshair adaptation. You're trying to adapt to the level that they're at, right? All of these things matter. It's the same thing, like I said, at the start of the round, you might like if you're holding this angle and 4 people start sprinting in, you're gonna hold wider. That's crosshair adaptation. Same thing when you're retaking. You have reason to believe that they're not there. You'd rather like clear all these like off angles and stuff, right? That's crosshair adaptation. Okay, that's something that you need to keep in mind all times. Stream has max viewers. Can you guys join Fan B stream? Is Fan B stream working? All right. Now there's something called micro adjustments, right? This is something that you need to get really good at. You need to get really good at holding for the free kills. You need to be really confident in holding this angle right now. All right. You want to be really good at being able to go like and just flicking to the right or left a little tiny bit, right? You just need to become really good at that. You can play like 6-shot on Kovacs. You can play aim labs, whatever it is. Oh wait, I'm sponsored by aim labs. Don't play Kovacs. Play aim labs. Aim labs only, boys. Aim labs only. I forgot I'm sponsored. Okay, hashtag ad. All right. Listen. Just go on aim labs, find some small scenarios, and there you go. You'll have a great time on aim labs code Dark Zero. Whatever scenarios work for you, I don't care. And then next is your target acquisition, okay? This is what I mean by target acquisition. How comfortable are you right now that you can flick and kill somebody market when you're aiming here? Right? Like, and I'm not talking about flicking onto their head. No. I'm talking about just generally how close can you get to shooting someone in the head here? That's target acquisition. For me, I have extremely good target acquisition. That's why you see me double satch with the judge, and I'm able to like flick someone right below me every single time because I have extremely good target acquisition. It's something that you develop in like BRs really well, but a lot of people in Valorant don't have it. Right? Like if you're walking down, you can peek from here. You can still have a chance to win this fight. Right? You'd still be able to get there fast. Either side of this box, right? Because and if it's a really far flick like this, right? Let's say there's someone up there. This is what's going to look like in slow motion, right? You're going to flick, you're going to overshoot or undershoot, right? And then you're going to micro adjust, right? So this is what it'll look like. Let's see, I start getting 3, when I start getting shot at, I'm going to strafe while I'm doing this target acquisition, right? I'm strafing to move my body, and then I'm going to micro adjust onto them when I stop, right? So it'll look like this, right? And you need to be really good at that. And if this was a match against like 10s, it'd probably look like this, right? Like it'd be a lot faster. That's what you need to keep in mind. And oh fuck, I forgot my thought process. 1 second, let me think this. You need to be really prepared for fights, but I also want to show you guys something because this has been pissing me off. I noticed this recently in coaching, and I'm sorry if the people here are like this, but a lot of people are like this. Okay, y'all need to stop peeking angles and shit like this. Look, let's say you're holding this angle, be main. You hold the hold on, you don't hear anything. You go to pull out a molly, you throw it like this. Like this is really bad. Like this is obviously really bad. Okay? Like whenever you pull out utility, you want to be falling away from the angle and throwing it like that. That way you're closing the gap. You are closing the gap on when you're pulling it out, right? Let's say you're here and you want to flash me main. You're getting off the angle and flashing yourself back into the angle, right? You're here, you're pulling out your molly, and you're getting off the angle while throwing it, okay? You're not walking up and doing this because you're gonna die to here. You guys die to these timings all the time. I watch it. Let's say you flash me main and you peek before it's popping, right? Like you're peeking too quick. Let's say you throw your molly like this, and you come in and peek, but your gun's not out yet. And now you're peeking the angle before your gun's out. You throw the molly and you can't shoot yet. Let's say there's someone right here posted on this angle, okay? And I do this.